Hello, got a new angle for you on the floor in front of this picture that needs to be hung up. But I just wanted to do this really quickly, and this is the easiest way of doing it. I've got an unboxing for you, and we have here, it's got a little sticker over it. It says Oud 7. It is, there's no point taking this off because I'm gonna take it all off anyway. So this is a Harrods exclusive. It's by Matiere, Premier, a brand owned and perfumed by Aurélien Guichard. And I was invited to an event a couple of weeks back where we got to learn more about Aurélien's process of creating perfumes. And we learned a little more about this particular fragrance, which is a brand new release, and it's only available at the moment at Harrods. So it is a Harrods exclusive, and they kindly sent me a bottle. I wasn't expecting a full bottle, so thank you so much to Matiere Premier for arranging this, because yeah, we've got this brand new Harrods special right here to explore together. So I've got my knife and we are into the cellophane. So one thing that I found interesting about Aurélien, who is a perfumer for other brands as well, he's got his name against Narciso Rodriguez fragrance, and I'm sure there's others as well. So there's the box. What I found interesting about him is he said he's inspired by other people, and he's inspired by the creative director, their story, what they're looking for. And with this one, obviously he had Harrods in mind, so he takes his inspiration from all sorts of things, but he said he doesn't really create perfumes for himself. I found that really interesting, and I'm just unboxing now. Here we go, and here is the bottle. Now what I really like is the minimalism of it. I really do like a minimal type bottle, but it still feels bougie. It's quite large, it's very big. These are 100 mils, I believe. There you have it. So it's thick glass, it just feels really nice quality, and the lid is plastic and nothing on it. It's not magnetic, but it's very secure, so that's good. And we're going to spray it on paper first. So they sent me these as well, these testing strips, which is very nice. Yeah. And we are going to spray on paper first and see what we get. So I can totally see how this is inspired by Harrods, because when you go into Harrods and you smell a lot of those, when you go to the perfume area, you smell all those kind of like the Middle Eastern, rich Arabian type fragrances, the ouds and the smoke and the woods and the leather, because they're the stronger fragrances, so they'll dominate. And I really get, I get a leather, and it's a proper leather, so it's not a suede, it's a proper leather, and a hint of that kind of Middle Eastern oudy feel. Now they do use real oud in here. I can't remember what type it is, I'm not an expert. Actually, we've got something here. The initial idea: refining a rough, precious Assam oud by shaping it with 7 facets. So here you have the 7, Oud 7. Assam, Bangladesh oud, made by Jalali Agarwood Company. And the other notes of note are violet leaf absolute from Egypt, tobacco absolute from Balkans, patchouli oil from Indonesia, vetiver from Haiti and cypriol from India, Assista labdanum from Andalusia, and amber. Okay, it's kind of calming down. It was quite a big fragrance to start with. I smell a combination of woods, a gentle oody smell, but it doesn't smell like anything like a barnyard or muck spreading, as I often get when I smell real oud. And it has a little lift to it, as if there's a touch of something citrus just blended in, just to uplift the fragrance without smelling like a citrus, if it makes sense. I don't really get the violet leaf yet. Violet leaf can be green, slightly ozonic sometimes, and has this twinge of violet to it. This is actually quite pleasant. So I am going to go on skin. I'm going to be brave because these aren't really my notes. These aren't my usual type of fragrance. So we are going to go on skin here. And I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about it later on. Right then, so I'm back and it's been 5 hours since we sprayed it. Still going really strong. So first of all, this is beast mode. It belongs in an amouage bottle. It's that kind of fragrance. It makes me think of Interlude Man from Amouage. So that should hopefully give you a rough idea. This is not a delicate wallflower. This is very much a loud, strong, dry, Middle Eastern, resinous type of fragrance. So when I first sprayed it, it smelled leathery to me. There's no leather listed as such, but that could be coming from the labdanum maybe, or some of the other elements, but it did smell leathery. It kind of, it changed and it doesn't smell leathery anymore. And I don't think that leatheriness stayed around that long. And now I am getting the vetiver, and it's taken a little while for that to come through. So this is quite complex and it's taken its time and evolving and changing on my skin even now. So we're definitely not, or I have definitely not witnessed every facet of this perfume. I would imagine it will take quite a long time to get to know it. All in all, the overall feeling I get from it is it's a very much a resinous, woody, slightly smoky, exotic type fragrance. It's not the most unique thing I've ever smelled. As I say, it kind of feels a bit amouage-y. I have smelt fragrances like this before, and this is not my genre of fragrance. I generally don't really enjoy these big, loud resins and ouds and whatnot, so just not really my style. I tend to go for the more delicate things, floral things and sweet things. So this does have an amber note, and I would say that it's a very light and subtle blend of resins that I think is what's causing the amber note. It does sweeten up. It's sweeter on my skin than it was when I first sprayed it, but it's still not a sweet fragrance by any means whatsoever. Doesn't feel like there's any added sweetness here, just a little bit of sweetness perhaps coming from the resins. Maybe there is a vanilla in the amber note, but it's not a very pronounced if there is. So overall, it just feels like a slightly smoky resin bomb. It's just too loud for my taste. It's very bold. It's just too bold for me. I couldn't wear this. It would be too much for my senses. It's quite dry, not to the point of being scratchy on the throat, but it is quite dry. Again, I'm not really into really dry fragrances. There is more sweetness than I might be giving it credit for, having just re-smelled it. So I think that it is very, very slowly and gently getting sweeter, which is probably that amber note creeping up and taking over. I don't know much about oud. I haven't smelt many real ouds. I have smelt some from Orige L'Adore and Borknikov, and it doesn't smell like the ouds I've smelt from them, the barnyard muck spreading type ouds. This, I don't get anything really animalic from it, apart from that sort of leathery element at the beginning. I don't get anything poopy whatsoever, barnyardy, nothing like that. So I don't know if it's just me not picking up on the oud, or that the oud in here is something that I'm not familiar with and therefore I can't pick it out. To me, it smells like a blend of resins and sort of like earthiness and a little bit of amber. a little bit of smoke. But yeah, I don't really know too much about oud to comment on the oud note. I can't find it myself, but we know it's there. It says it clearly in the information that there is this Assam oud. So probably you want to watch a review or read a review from someone who's a little more of an expert on oud in general. For me, I think if you like things like Amouage Interlude Man, you may want to try this. What I will say is, I said earlier, it's not the most unique thing that you'll ever smell. However, I think what the brand do, what Aurelian does, is I think he takes a genre that's already fairly popular and just likes to put a quality touch to it. So I don't think he's going out to break the mold with his perfumes. I think what he's doing is just trying to create something in the best way that he can, to use quality ingredients and highlight those quality ingredients in a classy and elegant way. And I think that has been achieved here. But as I say, in summary, this is not for me. It's not the notes I would usually wear. It's not the style of perfume I would usually wear. If you have the same tastes as me, then it's probably one that you can skip. However, if you do like the big, bold Amouage type fragrances, then I think you should definitely give it a go. Thank you so much to Aurelian and to Matiere Premier for sending this to me. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in another video.